Are you ready to uncover the latest housing trends that are shaking up for the Jordanelle real estate area? This area is going to be the future of Park City. Well, stay tuned because I really wanted to do a market update specifically singling out the Jordanelle area because I don't, half of the properties land in Summit County. Half of the properties land in Wasatch County. You've got the east side of the Jordanelle. You've got the west side of the Jordanelle. You've got the north side. You've got the south side. When you're comparing east to west, it's so different. When you're comparing north to south, it's completely different. So I think Jordanelle in its own is almost its own beast. So I really wanted to dive into a market update for the Jordanelle simply because I do sell a lot out here. I've got a lot of listings out here and I've got a lot of inquiries out here because people are really loving all the new construction that is happening in this area. So let's jump into this market summary. So if we're looking here, this is a market summary for Jordanelle residential. So this is for single family condos and townhomes for June of 2024. So if we look at number of new listings, as you can see, it decreased a little bit and now it's starting to increase again. If we look at listing prices, the new listing price is at $2.16 million. So that listing price is way above all the actives. They add active listing median price is only 1.6 million. So all the new properties that are coming to the Jordanelle area that are new are much, much more expensive. And also, it's all new construction that's happening out there. So, developers are maybe releasing some of their better product, some of their next phase. Again, every time a developer releases a new phase, it goes up about 10 to 12% in price, just to keep that in mind. Now, if we look at the absorption rate, it's really starting to climb out here too. So, the absorption rate out here is 6 months. Out in this area, you've got a sold to list ratio price, which is when you list your property, how much of the percentage are you getting of that list price? Out here, it's 98.6%. So it was at 100. It just dropped slightly. However, this is much higher than Wasatch County or Summit County. And I think that is mainly due to the fact that it's pretty much almost all new construction and developers are not dropping their prices unless they're doing a bulk price drop. You can't go to a developer and say, I want to pay this. They're going to be like, this is the price. If you don't want to pay that, we'll sell it to somebody else. So days on market, they usually incentivize you different ways. Use our lender, use our title company. Our lender will give you a lower rate or will pay for some of your closing costs. They incentivize you other ways. So days on market out here is 152 days. So it is climbing. So back in March of 2024, back in March of 2024, it was at 94 days on the market, and now it just keeps climbing. So 152 days on the market. And maybe that's because we just got a whole bunch of new listings as well. So there's a lot more inventory flooding the market, a lot more inventory hitting the market. So we've got an absorption rate of 6 months out here. A median sales price of 1.59999D. So about 1.6 million. Your average sales price out here is 2.16395. And the average days on the market is 152. Last year, that was 90 days. If we look at our sold price and kind of our price points that are trending out in this area, I think the things again that are trading in this area, you've got the million to a million five. There were 44 that sold, 44 that have sold again, right? We're looking at the year to date 2024. 44 that have sold. And then again, our next kind of hot area is the 1.5 to 1.99, just under 2 million. So again, that is another price point that seems to just be what everybody wants their budget to be for whatever reason. And then the weird anomaly for this area is the 400 to 499, and there were 35 that are sold. And I can debunk that right now because that is Pioche. The only area in the Jordanelle where you're getting that price point is Pioche. So that's why there is such a high number of solds in that price range there. So if we look at the active number of listings, we've got 505, which is pretty high for the Jordanelle area. I would say considering how small it is. And then sold listings, you've got 190 that have been sold. And then pending, we've got 252. So this area seems to be cooling down just a little bit because I think prices are going up in this area. There's a lot of new construction. So there's a lot of builders and projects competing against each other, shorelines competing with Deer Waters. Deer Waters is competing against themselves with Deer Springs. Then you've got Mayflower Lakeside competing with Keatley Ridge. You've got Sky Ridge competing with Benlock Ranch in terms of land, and Soaring Hawk and Golden Eagle. Then you've also got Toohey, which is very established, and they're selling a ton of land out there. So things that are new, right? So our absorption rate is 6.2 months. Sellers are getting closer to their listing price than any other area than Wasatch County or Summit County. And I think that's just due to the large number of new construction that is out here and newer properties out here. You don't have as many older properties like you do in Park City. And the list price is rising. I think that's one huge change is that the median price is now, the median list price is $2.16 million. So things to take note that what's coming is the rates are dropping. This is great. The rates dropped a little bit. They were 7% back in May. They ticked up, and now we're seeing easing. They've dropped under 7%. And then in September, we are told there is another rate drop coming. So what do we know? So when people are looking in Jordanelle, they're probably also looking in Park City, and they're going, okay, well, if I'm going to buy a vacation home, like what's happening in this Jordanelle area versus what's already happening in Old Town or Deer Valley, right? So I think people have options. And Jordanelle is so new, and you've got that whole new Deer Valley East Village base that is going in, which is going to change this area drastically because a lot of this area on the west side of Jordanelle, Mayflower Lakeside, then you have the older condos like the Shores and Village at the Shores, and then you've got Keatley Ridge, you've got Deer Cove, which is new, you've got Olive Sky Ridge. These areas are essentially going to become Deer Valley. And so I've always kind of said, keep an eye on Jordanelle. This is the best place to invest right now because if you get in early, your equity gain is just going to be massive. Your appreciation gain is going to be massive because of what is happening across the street. Valley East Village. It's essentially a new ski resort, an extension of Deer Valley, a brand new village base that is top tier, top of the line, going to be extremely high end. And you have the best developers in the world building this out, Extel, who did Central Park Tower in New York. If you follow Ryan Serhant, that penthouse was listed for $250 million. Those guys have their hands in building out a brand new ski area village base in Utah, which is pretty stinking cool. Hey, if you are thinking about selling your property in the Jordanelle area, then interview me. I always ask people, do you want an agent who's just going to stack listings and do nothing for you? Or do you want somebody who's really going to aggressively market your property to the most qualified buyers out there who are going to pay your price or more? If that sounds interesting to you, my information is always dropped down in the description link down below.